Yay!
We're live. Oh my gosh. The
We're
technology.
Here.
Welcome to anybody who's watching this. Now, in the future, guess what, Cassie? We are now and we're in the future. Yay, us.
Yay, us! How come I don't see us, though?
Well, what would it take for you to find us live now and in the future?
In the future. Are we on your business page or on your personal?
Yeah.
That's
Business
the
page Linda Rizzoli Coaching.
problem. Okay, awesome.
I'm Linda Rizzoli. And joining me in the beautiful pink is the one and only, the amazing Cassy Summers.
Thank you. Hi. That would be awesome if someone followed you around and like every time you introduced yourself, they were like, oh, the crowd goes wild. I would have that.
Okay, well, I'm available, Cass. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Pay me enough, I would do that all day long and have fun doing it.
So what are we?
Oh, Cassie, why don't you tell me something amazing about yourself so that, maybe there's people here that have never met you.
Yeah, I'm sharing this to my page. Wanna come have a yummy chat? Question mark. Yeah. I think that's yeah, something about me. Okay. Something about me. Well, Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, like yourself. I jumped into the tools about 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I don't know. And just loved, my kid. Well, the first time I received bars, I was pregnant with my youngest kid. And so it took me a little while to get going, but because I was, having babies and things, but I love, but I absolutely love the tools. It's part of my daily life. And so I love talking about it. I love talking about everything Access has to offer. It's a whole universe, which is just like, there's enough for me to keep my interest, how that is. Yeah.
Did you play in other modalities before you found Access?
No, I'm like one of those rare, I grew up with, my mom did Reiki. So I grew up rejecting it as a good teenager would.
Right.
I don't want that fruit. Yeah. I don't want that fruit stuff. Quit doing things to me when I'm lying down. Stop it.
That's a good rule. Good rule.
I think so. So yeah, I did more like some self-development kind of book kind of things. I was always seeking something greater. I always felt like there was something greater. I knew that I knew that this couldn't be as good as it gets, the life I'd created, because it actually wasn't very good at all. So then when I stumbled upon Access, it was my first time doing energy work of any sort.
That's cool. And did you get on that bed, on that table, and did you think, aha, here it is?
No, I got in the bed. I had my bars run.
Yeah.
And I had this, the space was, oh my gosh, like, whoa. Yeah. And it was like, I need this, but it wasn't like, here it is. It was like, I need this in my life because I'm so broken and I need this to heal my brokenness. It was like a solution really to all the problems, but it wasn't like I had found it until I facilitated my first class. When I facilitated my first bars class, I went, oh, I found it. Yeah.
Wow. I wonder, when you say that, did you find it or did you find you?
Yeah, I found me. Absolutely. And I think, thanks for saying it that way. And I actually remember, actually had a moment when I was there, and I'm this time I didn't perform. I wasn't on stage. I didn't have like audiences of people. I had 12 people in my first class. And as I'm facilitating and being the energy of facilitation, I remember in my head going, wow, this is the most me I've ever felt. So you nailed it. Like finding me. I was like, and then I was like, I need more. I have to, what else of me can I discover by choosing to facilitate?
Yeah. Okay. So this is who we're talking to. If you're out there listening and you've been looking for more of you, what if that's the possibility that you've been seeking and searching for? And here's this beautiful modality of access consciousness that Cassy and I have chosen that is where we've discovered more of us.
Yeah.
So for those people who are listening, go ahead, Cass.
No, do it. No, say it. It's exciting.
I was just going to say, like, I want you to talk to that person who is like, oh my God, I have been broken. Life is not great. And that's what I want, actually, is more of me.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone listening was like me, like I would have said, I don't have a capacity in this area. I can't. I even remember the first time someone suggested, why don't you take a bars class and learn how to do it? I was like, I can't do that. I don't understand processing. I don't have memory. Like, so I can't memorize the things I'm supposed to say. I'm never going to do this right. And then to step into it and be like, wow, I've never had more of me than ever before. So everything that we think we're capable of, or everything we think, we have these trajectories of our life, right? We like either I was going to be a mom. I knew it since I was very young, since I was 6 years old. I was going to be a mom, and that was going to be one of my greatest accomplishments. And it was important to me. And I knew the track, right? And I found the husband, and I found the track. And for others, it's like, I'm going to walk up the corporate ladder. I'm going to like whatever it is. And if you're not sensing that more of you, it might be something that you never considered, because I would have never considered facilitating as a career. Not on my radar. So being open to the infinite possibilities of something so bizarre as this is a really cool space to be. What was did you know? Like, so when you stumbled upon Access, did you know right away?
No. I had dabbled my toes here and there and here and there. And I would start off, like if I'm going to do something, I'm really often just going to jump in head first and go full tilt. And so I would do that. I would be like, oh my God, this. And then it would, like, that honeymoon period would end, and I'd get bored and I'd move on. And Access for me actually has been completely the opposite. I laid down on a massage table. I got my bars run in a bars class. That was my first experience of bars or Access. And I was like, that's okay. But I left that class and I had all this manual with all of these tools, like really simple tools, like questions that you can ask, things like that. And I started asking the questions. Like, how does it get better than this? What else is possible? Like, it's not rocket science, just really simple. And I remember calling my sister. It was her bars class that I was in. And I was like, oh my God, Carol, these tools are working. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was working in my day-to-day life, in my marriage, in the drudgery of the marriage where it's like tight and hard and you're in those ruts. And I would ask these questions and it would change. So it took me a while to warm up to Access, and I just continue to be like, it's just starting to dawn on me, the potency of what I'm working with.
Yeah. Wow, that's powerful.
So we've talked a lot about bars. Bars is kind of the foundational body process, the foundational energetic body work of access. So that's what we're going to talk today, is about this whole world of energetic body work. And I don't know where to start, Cassy. Do you have a thread into this world?
Well, one, I would love to acknowledge something that I've noticed in the world that relates to this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all, I'm going to say the thing that everyone's talking about, and I'm sorry because I don't want to make it about it, but COVID. Okay. COVID happened. Body stopped, like a lot of it stopped being touched. Maybe people used to go to a massage therapist, or they used to just enjoy like pedicures and manicures and stuff like that. And a lot of people stopped doing that. You stopped seeing your loved ones. You stopped getting to hug them and touch them. Well, what maybe you might or might not know, everyone listening, is that your body actually really loves touch. Our bodies love touch so much more than I ever acknowledged. And even though people that are like, I hate being touched, well, okay, there might be some processing to do there, but I remember Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, once talking about, have you ever seen a cat that just is like, pet me, pet me, pet me, pet me, and it's like, it's so greedy. It's so greedy. It's like, why are you stopping? Well, we were having so much fun with you petting me. It's like, what if your body is actually more like that than you've ever acknowledged? And I was like, oh, my body is like that. My body is like that. So then now we bring the body processes, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I love about body processes is actually being touched with like this kindness, this caring, this nurturing, and then the miracles that show up or can show up from a body process is like beyond this reality. That's like the cherry on the. I don't actually like cherries on my. No, so that's like the icing on the cake. Like, get that cherry off. I don't like those fake cherries.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful what you're saying, Cassy. Like, let's say during a body process, you lie down on a massage table, generally, keep your clothes on, you have someone else that is being what you're talking about, that is gently, kindly, without expectation or demand, touching your body. So just that, if it was nothing else besides that, it would be so valuable merely for that.
Yep.
And then we throw in the energy on top of that. So we're talking about energy, this intangible thing. Like, can you invite us into that world of energy, please?
Sure. Yeah, even people that think that they don't get energy. Oh, let's make that quiet. It's anything from walking into a room and you can sense how everyone is without visual confirmation. That's you sensing. If energy didn't exist, you wouldn't know unless you had a physical sensation. So that would be you use your sight, or you heard an argument. You would have to use the senses of the body, right, to get the information. But because energy exists, we can get the information without using the senses of the body. That's you tapping in energy. It's also how you know, you'll just like, oh my God, I need to call my friend. And you call them and there's something like either really amazing and exciting going on for them. They're like, oh my God, I just, or they're like, they're hurting and you just happen to call them the moment that they required someone. That's energy. How else would you know?
Yeah.
So how do we apply this to a body process?
Yeah.
So what if within every body is a possibility for change, for eliminating something, for creating something, for infinite possibilities. Okay. And so what the energy does, and you can tell, so you have the touch, and like you said, just the touch, you're like, oh, that even in itself is so beautiful. You often notice with really kind touch, bodies will show you, they'll relax their shoulders or they'll take a big deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then when you activate an energy, so you're asking that body, hey body, how you doing? What's going on there? And the body's communicating with you energetically, because the body can't communicate verbally unless the being's using the mouthpiece, right? Yeah. So the body communicates with energy. It communicates with physical sensations, pain, other things, stiffness. Yeah. So, hey body, is there something that you would like to change here? And the body's like, yeah, actually, I really would. And then it can activate an energy, which is very different than, now, how do we do it from this reality? So you want to change something. Let's say you have a shoulder pain. You've had it, you've gone to the chiropractic. So what can we do? We can go to the chiropractor. You can do acupuncture. You could do kind of physiotherapy. You could do stretches. All that stuff's awesome. Like maybe that's all it needs, and it works. Go ahead.
Something I've used is I will tune out of the pain and just ignore it.
Yep. You could take Tylenol. You could take medication to numb out the pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another possibility is you could look at, okay, what if there's something going on here that is beyond physical? What if it is an energetic thing? If it's an energetic thing going on, no amount of physical is going to actually change it. You have to address the energy. So you run the body. Okay, what do you need to run? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to pin that. We are beings walking around on this earth with bodies. And what if we are energetic beings? What if our bodies are aware of energy? And there's so many things we try to address merely on the physical plane, and we can't change it. Maybe it's time to look somewhere else. What if you shift the energy? And that could impact the physical. Okay, thanks, Cass.
That felt like a sound clip. That was beautifully described. Yeah, what if you shift the energy? And the body process is one of the ways we could do that. Yeah. Put your hand there. You run a particular.
Oh, Cassie froze on me. Is that me or Cassie? Energy's moving. Technology can glitch. What would it take for technology to support us as we move this energy? So it looks to me like I'm still alive, like perhaps we've lost Cassie, who is just in this magical place of sharing with us what it's like to run a body process, the gentle touch, the movement of energy. And it can often be really perceivable. There she goes. We lost her. So what do you think would be more fun? More fun to carry on? I'm just going to talk for a bit, and we'll see if Cassie hops back on. So where's the thread that I can pick up? Oh, Cassie is just coming back. Says her device is not connected. There we go.
We blew up my Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, I know. I was like, do you think we're moving some energy?
My hotspot, because I'm like, what happened?
Energy can often have an interesting interaction with technology. So Small side note.
Yeah. My kid just okay, close the door, close the door. My kid just came up to tell me about the Wi-Fi. I'm like, yes, I know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so what were we talking about?
Well, we are inviting people to the energetic body processes of access. Right. So let's now skip to, I just want to note, if you're noticing a feeling in your body, if you're noticing yourself relax or maybe feel tingles, that can all be the energy moving. So just acknowledge that for yourself if you're perceiving it as we discuss. But how do they get more of this, Cassy? How do they get someone to gently and kindly run this energy on them?
Yeah. So, I mean, when you can choose a practitioner, you can get a session with someone. Sometimes person will have an office and you can go there with like, I have a problem and they want to fix the problem. Can you help me with the problem?
Yeah.
You know, we could also, and other people, it could just be like, I would like to nurture my body for an hour, you know?
Yeah.
This is something you've been dynamically demanding of myself to incorporate in my life, is an hour every day of nurturing my body and my being, however that looks.
Wow.
Every single day. And that's not something I've ever chosen because I'm like a work, or have been, but I'm changing that. Yeah. So that's an option. Choose a session. Another thing is there are 1-day body process classes and there are 3-day body process classes. And those are phenomenal possibilities. And I know you love the body process. Tell me, what do you love? Because you have a body process class coming up that you're facilitating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you love about facilitating those classes?
I heard Dr. Dane here, one of the founders of Access, one time say, what if you were not facilitating people? What if you were facilitating the earth? What would you choose? So to me, like running these body processes on bodies is kind, not just to the bodies, but it's kind to the earth. We have these bodies that are like animalistic bodies, like you're talking about, like that cat that you mentioned at the beginning. And what if these animalistic bodies of ours are part of this earth? And what if we can contribute to the earth by being kind and nurturing to our bodies? So that is one of the things at the top of my list. What do you love about it, Cass?
I love perceiving a change beyond thinking.
Oh,
I love.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So I noticed this especially with facilitating a foundation class, which is the prerequisite for a 3-day body class. So in the foundation class, we have a manual and we're doing a lot of verbal stuff. Yeah. Verbal processing. And some people are very much in their mind and some people are not. And then you get to the part in the foundation. But then there's this part in the foundation where you're like, okay, guys, now you got to lie down and have a body process. Yeah. And we're not going to do thinking right now. And then this miraculous change starts to occur. Yeah. And when people get off the table and you look at them and you're like, whoa. Yeah. You don't even, and they may never know everything that changed from that 1 hour because it will ripple out with such elegance and subtlety. Yeah. Through their lives, but their bodies are different. The beings are different. And you notice the possibilities that have just opened up. That's part of what I love. It's like witnessing a miracle.
Oh my God, Cassy. That was a sound clip right there. Wow. That's what you are so right. I have worked so hard to figure my life out. And I get to lie down on a table and change who I be in this world. And I get to lay my head down and say, thank you. But it's not up to you here. You don't have to figure it out. We're going beyond what I can figure out into something so much greater.
Yeah. And then imagine
so we want
3 days of that.
3 days of that. That's where I was just going.
I think I was going where you're
going. 3 days of it. Just it's like melting all those things that you think are limiting you without having to work hard at figuring it out. Just relaxing and receiving.
Yeah. And I love that like you keep bringing up that energy of figuring it out, because I suck at figuring it out. I've always sucked at it. That was one of my biggest problems of my life. It's like I can't ever figure anything out. I can figure out how to like make the VCR work, but like that's about it.
I love that it's a VCR, Cassy. That's going to take you far.
It is. I'll be a VCR repair person, except for VCRs are not used anymore. But anyways,
you could sell pagers on the side.
Yeah, it's my calling. But that's where I couldn't figure out. Oh, did I just freeze again? No, I'm good. Okay.
No, you did not. You're good.
Did not. It's okay, laptop. We're not going back to VCRs. It's fine. We're good.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out anything in my life. And that's even when we talked about like me stepping into becoming that facilitator. For me, I could never have figured that out. My brain never would have taken me there, because it wasn't even in my reality. That energy stuff, like I had said, I'd rejected it. That was something my mom did. And so it wasn't even a possibility that I would have explored by trying to figure out anything. So to have the gift of access where you actually don't have to figure out anything anymore was like the biggest, like, I was like, I'm so relieved. Just so relieved to be here and not have to figure anything out again.
Like that for me is the energy of being in a body process class. I am so relieved that I don't have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So please, we want to be an invitation here. We want to invite everybody to join us in one-day classes.
Yeah.
And we have a 3-day body class coming up in Canada. Cassy, could you tell us some of the details?
Yes. Well, there's actually 2 coming up in Canada. There's one in Calgary and one in Toronto. Yeah. So Daria Hansen, she's a 3D body facilitator. I'm not one yet. And sadly, Lynn is not one yet. She can't have it from us. But you can have it from Daria. She's this gorgeous, miraculous body and being. She's traveled all over the world facilitating these classes. She's just got back from, she lives part-time in Russia, part-time in Canada. So she's coming back. So she'll be actually landed in Canada yesterday. So in August, we'll be gathering together in Calgary for 3 days of these. There's over 50 different processes, and we just run them as the bodies are asking for them. And you're swapping partners. So you're receiving and you're gifting and you're gifting and you're receiving in this like big puddle of meltiness for 3 days. And then later on, she'll be flying to Toronto and she'll be doing a class down there as well. And how you know, at the beginning, we talked about the world, what the world's asking for, and the touch.
Yeah.
When I perceive and then now I'm going to bring in what you talked about with the earth. We're seeing bizarre things, especially in Canada right now with the earth. We've got this heat dome thing going on in BC. We've got we got really high rivers that have never been at this time of the year in other places. We have like a lot of interesting things going on.
Yeah.
So what I love about the 3-day body classes. So we're going to strategically, there's one in Calgary, there's one in Toronto, and then you have all the 1-day body process classes going on around Canada. Like, what change are we creating for the earth and bodies?
And when we talk about being nurturing and kind with our bodies, often we've been taught that that's selfish and greedy. But what if your unique, specific body being in these classes could contribute something to this bigger picture, to the greater?
Yes! That gets me so excited. It's like,
yeah.
One thing I know about my body loves to be in contribution. It's like, oh, yeah, we're here. Well, I'm in. Let's go. And it's a beautiful possibility.
Yeah. Okay, we are probably about half an hour here, Cassy. So we should be wrapping it up, I think. Just in case, short attention spans out there like me.
Yeah.
I could talk about this for so long with you. This has been amazing.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me on here.
Yeah, thank you, Cassy. If anybody wants to reach out, if you have any questions, please, you can tell that Cassy and I hate to talk about this stuff, so.
Hate it.
So find us, reach out.
Maybe I'll see you in a body class in Calgary.
I am coming to body class. I am registered in Calgary.
It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Okay. How does it get better? Thank you again, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, bodies. Hey, thank you, bodies.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda.
Okay. Bye, Cass.
Bye.